Hello. Well, you caught me. I was just giving my lippy a bit of a rub off because it's a bit too dark. I always feel like doing that funny face. Anyway, I'm Nettie and I'm going to make a card. And I accidentally did this because I got 5 kids and 2 are still at home. They're 14-year-old twins. And last night I said, okay, you've had enough. I'll take you upstairs and read for half an hour. And my oldest son was away doing army and he was coming back to stay here the night. And so I was sitting up waiting for him to come home with a gin because he normally likes to have a little whiskey with me. We have a chat and it's so nice because I see him every Tuesday and then I see him with his family because he's moved out of home. And I said to the twins, they'd gone up. And so I thought, oh, what will I do? Because this morning I've been doing work on my Sip, Snip and Create. I've just done a session with some ladies and I did 5 cards. I can actually show them to you because they are now have had their 2 lives. So I'll just put the camera down and show you. I'll pull them out of their bags and show you. So this is one of my classes and this is like $45 to do the class. Now you're not allowed to stamp on this particular class. So I had to, I'm just putting that out of the road, getting all these cards out because I've had them all packed up and so that I could, because we finished the last live yesterday. So you get to see. So the next set of cards, if you go to my, I'll show you when we're on my independent demonstrator, Nette Falconer, that will show you later and you can send me a message. I've put all the information there on. Okay, so I'm going to just put the camera down so you can have a look. Here we go. And that's the cards I did. So you can go on to Nette Falconer Independent Demonstrator on Facebook and find me, join up, and you'll read the it says $45 to do 5 cards. Everything comes to you. I cannot stamp. So even though they've got stamps on, that's up to you to provide stamps. So my next cards are not these ones because now I can only show you after because it's a private group and they get to see them, and that's just the way it is because it's got to be fair. We meet online and we I'm hoping this will be the right way up when I have a look. We meet online in a separate group called Sip, Snip and Create. So anyway, so my son was home late and so I thought I'd fill some time in and I pulled out by my side and I thought, I love Perched in a Tree, but there was nothing I could do with that. So I took that out and I opened the dies and the Aspen dies and I got this one. So let me show you what I did. I'm just going to pop those to the side. We'll be using that one in a minute. Now what I'm going to do is just grab my cutting machine because I'm just going to show you quickly. I don't like to do a lot of this. So I've moved my place, isn't that naughty? So this is a massive one. I normally use my little one, but because the die is so big, okay, so I'm using the new colours. So this is Pebble Puff. It doesn't look it actually is darker. I don't know if it'll make any difference if I put my other light on here. That's it. Does that show that? It shows it really light. No, this is darker brown. This is, yeah, it's dark brown. Sorry, it doesn't look as thing. So anyway, and it won't look brown when it's done. So I'm going to just cut out this die. And for this, we need to make a sandwich. So our white platform out there. I don't need to tick it down because I'm not going to, it's not going to move around. And oh, actually, I better straighten it up a little bit. See that? All right. Okay, let's go cranking. Now the table will rock. I'll try and go slowly. Yeah, look at that. And I'm going to go back because I don't want to have too much time. See how easy that went back because it's already done once. See all the pieces? Put that down there. See all the bits that are falling out because I did it twice. It just about takes everything out. So, oh, they're so lovely. Right, give me a sec to move this down. All right. So we've done that. Now what I'm going to do, and I was wanting to put some colour in, and I thought I couldn't work out how the heck I was going to do it. So anyway, I did, and I'm going to put that on a bit of a silicone mat because I don't want to get sticky on my paper. It says Stamping Up is the new colours from last year, the last 2 years, but they've followed over. This is the new colours coming out now, and we're going to be using, so that's Pebbled Path, and this is the copper. And what colour copper is it? I should know these because I've been working with them. And it's funny, you got to, I'm just going to have a quick look in my book. Now, don't forget this week, between the 1st and the 30th of June, you can get your DSP, which is your designer paper, on sale. So this is copper clay. So the new colours are copper clay, wild wheat, which looks like baby poo, but I've done cards with it. Boho blue, which is like my top, moody mauve, and pebbled path. So the pebbled path, you can see it's a bit darker than it looks, but we're just going to do something just to smash it out and make it look different. So I'm going to use my Versamark, okay, and I'm just going to put it over a few places. Just going to see if I can see in the light. Okay. Roll it down a couple of the trees. Just don't want to cover the whole thing. Okay. Now, I'll just cover that up quickly. I'm going to put, I think, I don't know if you can see it. See how you can see the shadowies? I just think I need to maybe put a little bit more there. Okay. All right, we'll leave it at that. Now, this is a lot of gold coming on here, guys. I wish it was in my pocket. It's not gold, it's copper. Sorry. All right. They're like $10 a tube, so you want to make sure you're sparing with it. And I'm just going to get a pair of tongs to pick it up and give it a shake. So if you tap it, it should all come off. Okay. All right. Now, I'm just going to, because it's quite heavy, I'm just going to just brush a little bit through to lighten it up. Now, I know this is silly, but if you don't do this, you could end up spilling this whole $10 worth of stuff and be annoyed with yourself. So clean it up straight away. I know, because I've done it. I know. Now, so pop this all away. Right. put it in here so that I keep it clean. Not really clean, so I don't spill anything. Now, this is going to get noisy, but just forgive me for a little bit of the noise. And watch this change. Look at that. As long as I don't put my paper on fire. Wow, look at that. Is that beautiful? Now it's a bit light, so I'll just put that away for a second. So shake my silicone mat out because that's now got all dust all over it. I'll put that one away and use a different one, which I have a Stampin' Up one. Okay, so with our card base is 8 1/4 by 5 1/2, and we're going to score it at 4 1/8. So if you line your card on your grid paper and get it all together, right, and then we're just that way. Once it's started, you're done. Give it a nice crisp bone fold. Now this is a little bit big, so we're going to just cut it down, but I wanted it to get cooler. So, oh my goodness, look at my mat. It's dirty again. It just gets, I think you put glue on stuff and then you, I'm just going to get my glue cleaner there. You put glue on. So, because this is 5 1/2, I want to have this at 5 1/2. So, I'm going to measure that because I want it to meet the top, but I don't want it to meet the sides. I'm going to take a little bit less off, more off there and a little bit off the top. Okay, and we're going to use this strip. You always use your leftovers for something. Okay, and apparently if you use your blade one way and then the other way, you use up your sharpness instead of always having it. Okay, so we still have about 1/4 inch to take off. So I'm going to take off from that side and see how that looks. I want to just see a little bit of the cardstock at the back on either side. So I have to take another wee strip off here. I just want it to be 2 under. Okay. Aren't these lovely little gold strips? That one won't be going anywhere. And I don't think that's totally, you got measurements everywhere. I think I miscalculated. I did a little bit. There you go. You know the old saying, look, measure twice, cut once. Because especially in this, you wouldn't want to waste it. All right, look at that, done. So that's the first part. Now, we're going to stamp in just normal black. This is just memento. And we're going to stamp. I don't really want the dog yet because I've used him already. I just want the boy because I'll show you in a minute. Normally I would stamp the whole lot and then cut. I don't want to be colouring and cutting too long because it's quite boring for you. So I just want the little boy. Make sure he's down. Right, we'll leave doggy. Now, you can get your chamois, and I keep mine in a spare case I bought, and then you just need water. I've got another one, but this is easy to do when I'm working. All right, so I'm going to do that. Oh, I need to do a little bit more. Where's that paper here? So while we've got the stamp pad out, we might do this now. So on this one, I'm putting Hi Sweet Friend, but guess what? I'm embossing again. So after I put all that away, I should have done that, shouldn't I? I'll just put that card there so you can see it coming up. All right. Now on this one, because I want to have it no marks on it, we just use the embossing buddy and we just give it a wipe, okay, and that stops getting rubbish on it. And I'm going to reverse mark Hi Sweet Friend. Okay, and I want to, that's it. All right, and so again, just leave it for a minute and then I'll just do it again. Now see the line? That's because when I stamped it, I must have just gone a little bit over, and that picks up the outside line that would have had ink on it. But luckily, you just use a paintbrush and get rid of it. So, all right, I'm going to blow that one away, but I'll just do it away from the table. It won't take a second. So it's not so noisy. Okay, just going to snip that off there. And I'm putting a little flag end on that. So for a flag end, you cut it where you want it. Now you cut it in the middle and then up to the top of the flag, up to the top of the middle cut, and that gives you a flag. And then I'm going to be putting that, and I'll glue that down. I'm going to put it onto some copper. When I cut my cards, because we in Australia we don't cut them the same as the Americans, are a bit bigger. So when I cut my card, because your original piece, you can get 2 cards if you do them sideways. You can do them either way. You can get 2 cards. And so what I do is I just holding that for a minute to let the glue set. It's pretty fast, but it is movable, this Tombow. It means you can just squizzy your things around if you're not happy. I'll just get that out of the road. Okay, put Sweet there, he needs a clean. Okay. Gee, I just realised how much you say okay. So I'm going to do exactly the same here. I don't need to do the middle thing because I'm just going to cut from the middle. I can see from where that is. And that's our tag for him. I've done it the other way around. I think, I don't know. I like it like that. It's a bit brighter. So with the little boy, I just used some Stampin' Up Stampin' Blends. So I did the dark. I'm only doing, the reason I've done, I haven't cut the rest out. I'll show you in a sec. I've done them already because I don't think you need to see me colouring in. Okay, but you just use, I've just used a dark and a light. And this is a Azure Afternoon. And he's here. I did it with this and then I darkened it because I didn't think it was dark enough. But to be honest, through the back of the tree, you can probably see it better. So I might leave it. See, every day you learn something new. Maybe that gin, maybe that gin last night was a bit, you know. And we're just going to give him a little bit of colour. Actually, I wanted him to have a bit of, no. I'm just going to grab my colour tones. I made him a little bit browner. So let's have a look what this gives us. Maybe a little bit darker than that. Let's try this. Test them out before you use them. We got a little brown boy. We love different colours. Very multicultural country. I came from New Zealand. Lots of brown and white there. So I used the other colours here as well. I'll show you where. Put that to the side. I did a little girl and I did 2 little doggies. So when you cut, I'm just going to try and do this as quick as I can. You get your scissors up and you move your paper. It's got cards. It's stamped on cardstock, so it's heavy. And he kind of loses his hand on this one, so I won't be too fussy with that because that's under a tree. Okay. And he loses a bit of his head around there, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. Only because I know from the other card, if you have a look, and he loses that because he's in a branch. This is really easy to do, this one. Last night I sat there for a wee bit with my Ginny Gin Gin and did it. And this morning I had a coffee and I was sitting there trying to take the photo to put on the front and I forgot my coffee went cold. But I'll catch up in a minute. Please subscribe if you like it and share it with someone that's crafty. Especially, it's a really nice gift to give someone that's crafty the card kits. So I'm doing it July 10th, the first week. I do it over 2 weeks and I do 3 cards on the first week. And then on the second week, I do the 2 cards. And a fortnight later, I do this. So it's 10th of July and the 24th, I think, if I'm correct. All right. So we've got everything we need so far. So we do need an inside mat. Where did I put one of those? Okay. Let's just make sure that's fine. So on the inside mat, as I said, I'm going to use my copper. Right. And I'm going to stamp little doggies in the colour at the moment. Oh, put that lid back on. Don't want to have that happening. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stamp on the doggy. So I've got a nice line. I'm going to get my silicone mat. Goodness gracious, it took me a while to build up on a few tools. There is a lot to buy. I'm going to make that to there. There's a slither more off there. Okay. Then I hope you're having a nice morning. I am, because the kids are at school. Although I had to get up at my husband's away playing golf, and so I had to get up at 6:30. Well, my son left at that time anyway, the older one. So I like to say goodbye to him because I don't see him for another week. They live an hour away, which is not as far as the other son deserted me and went to. But we have to move on. I'm starting to adjust. And so one of the twins is in the school band. So much to his disgust, I woke him up at 6 and got him on. So I'm only getting the doggy. Now, you can use a piece of, DSP. You can get a mask. But I managed this fine. I've just got the dog and I'm putting him there. But, to be fair, if you're at home, maybe you would want to mask it and put a piece of paper over the little boy. That's a pretty wide one. Anything else I would, but it's got quite a wide, if you have a look, it's got quite a wide gap. So but if you're not sure, mask it off with a piece of paper. So, and what little greeting are we going to give this fella? So on the front it says, hi sweet friend. And so I think I'll put thinking of you. Thinking of you today. Because you can write your greeting up there. Isn't that pretty? I love this copper look. So the last thing I have to stamp is the little boy again onto an envelope. Now, in Australia, we don't put our addresses at the top of the envelope. I just put my finger on there. Goodness gracious. It doesn't matter because I'll give this one away. All right, and so I just put the outline. Normally I colour things in, but it's just too big. I don't want to have the postman growling because they can't see the postcode or anything like that. So there you go. So we've got all of that done. We've got our envelope. We've got our inside mat. We'll shut that before I put my fingers through like I did last night. And we will now put it together. So the inside mat is, don't put too much glue. You don't need it. Once it's going, it's called Tombow for a reason. It is strong enough. Now I'm going to have to use my glue there because I moved it up a bit. Okay, and that just takes it off and doesn't allow it to stick. Okay. Okay, and now I'm just saying, okay. I need to lay this down. Have a look where I'm going to do it. So I'll get my little boy and glue him up. Not too much. Not too much, just in the middle a bit, and a bit of squizzies. All right, now I want the little boy inside the tree. He's just peeking out at you. All right, so if I'm correct, that is there. And remember, we've got that second of freedom there. We can just give him a squizzy. There you go. How's that? Now, our doggy's going to go in there, so I'm just going to glue. Right. Just a little one over here. A bit more in the corner. If you just gently run up those arms, trees. Whoop. Just really thin because you don't want them to squeak out. All right. I have to work fast here because I want to get the doggy in. And I'm just going to pop that on the top there. And I'm going to put one doggy in here. So a little bit of glue on him. I squeeze it because it gets it around more than just being a drop. So one little doggy was coming out here. I want him just over the side there. And our second little puppy, we might put this on first with some dimensionals. So I'm lifting that up. Oh, my fingernails. As you might have heard on other videos, I cut my fingers, so I've had to not put my get my nails done, which I'm not overly fussed about anyway. I'm not a big cheesy person. All right, so now the other little doggy. Bit much glue on that, see, so spread it around. You don't want it coming out. Now he, on the other one, was walking along a little bit under there, and he was playing. Now, I do see a tiny, let's put those on the pointers to get a bit of glue there. Okay. Right, and last we've got our girl, and we're going to put her up as well because she's standing, make her look illusion that she's in front. Okay, good illusion. And so for the little piece there, I'm just with your stamping up, you get when you've taken all your big circles out, you've got little lines. Don't throw them away. Reuse them, or not reuse them. Use them for your here and okay, and that's all done. 2 cards, envelopes. If you live in Australia, the first person to send me a message, like, love, share, first one to share gets a free card, and then you just message me on Annette Falconer Independent Demonstrator on Facebook and send me a message, and then private message me your email, your address in Australia, and I'll send you one of the cards. All right. I hope you like that. I was really chuffed. I was so chuffed. I thought, oh my God, I finally turned it out something that I thought was good. I love making cards, but again, first person to like or love or share, send me a message through my site, Annette Falconer Independent Demonstrator on Facebook, and I'll send you the card. So thank you very much for listening to me, and have a great day. Bye.